Peter Attia was on the Chris Williams podcast and gave his recommendation for the best ways to naturally increase testosterone levels. So I'll play that clip right now and then go through some of the strategies for actually implementing it, because it is a lot easier said than done. So here's the clip.
I don't think there is a bigger way to naturally increase testosterone than adequate sleep and reduction of cortisol. Stress probably has the greatest negative impact behaviorally on the endogenous production of testosterone. So if you're not sleeping well and you're under a lot of stress, it's very easy to end up hypogonadal.
If you're anything like me, you hear that and you're like, okay, so that's basically a worthless answer since I have a stressful career, 3 kids, a gym routine, on and on. How can I lower my stress without massive life changes or get better sleep when I've got so much going on? There are ways to lower your stress regardless of your life circumstance. And I know this because I've done it. And I'm not talking about doing yoga and taking deep breaths. I'm talking about literally changing the framing of your mind so your stressors don't feel as stressful. And it all comes down to 2 things: perspective and detachment. See, we tend to think whatever stressors we have in our life are so big, but when you zoom out, you gain perspective. Will this stressor be as big of a deal in a year from now or 3 years from now? What if I was diagnosed with some kind of terminal illness? Would this thing that's stressing me out still be a problem? How many people have gone through what I'm going through right now and been totally fine? You'll find that in many cases, when you objectively consider what's at stake in a particular stressful circumstance, it's probably less than you think. If it's career or finance related, you have a long road ahead of you, a lot of working years where you can build back from whatever setbacks you run into. If it's relationship related, there's always a better partner out there for you if your current partner isn't the right one. I mean, my dad got divorced and went broke twice, and he is right now the best he's ever been. And look, that anecdote aside, if you're still seeking stress reduction, a great way to find perspective is through death meditations. It's when you visualize your own death and view your current life problems through that lens to see what's really important. And if meditation isn't your thing, you can consider reading really any form of history, because you'll see how hard people had to work just to feed themselves and have modest shelter. I mean, 100 years ago, women had a 40-time higher chance of dying during childbirth. Half the US population had no electricity. Life expectancy was 20 years less than it is today. And the flu could have killed you. So look, you get the point. The point is perspective. And with good perspective, our stressors start to feel lighter. Now, moving on to detachment. The modern man, we put a lot of stress on career success and, to some extent, lesser though, a good-looking physical physique. So we grind to be the best. We want to win at life. We want to be admired by our peers. And don't get me wrong, pursuing is a good thing. But more importantly than that, if we're trying to minimize stress, we need to be at peace with who we are without anything, without accomplishing those big goals, without external approval. And this can all be hard, but if you think back to your favorite memories throughout your life, most likely they're not related to status or career or anything like that. They are probably a good road trip you had with your friends, or maybe a special period of time you had with your wife. The most meaningful and the deepest parts of our lives rarely come from career hustle or money or status. Tim Ferriss has an exercise where he recommends you live by your lowest of means for a month just to show yourself it's not that bad and you can do it. Julian Blanc, another personal development guy, talks about letting go, which is basically peeling off the layers of armor and conditioning you've collected from society and realizing that you were already awesome all along. And most people come to realize that far too late. You often see this on their deathbed regrets. People talk about how they would have done something different, loved themselves more, had more experience, more meaningful moments, things like that. But you know this now, so there's no reason not to detach your feelings and your worth from status and materialism. And if you really think about it, if you're truly detached, what can affect you? So that's it for the stress reduction piece. Just remember that perspective and detachment can help you no matter your circumstance. And now moving on to sleep. Obviously, if you're reducing your stress, that's going to help with sleep. And I've already made a video on some of the lesser discussed ways to improve your sleep and without supplements in the case of that video. So for this video, I'm just gonna go through a more comprehensive list of ways to improve your sleep, most of which I still do regularly. And if any of them seem interesting to you, just give each individual one a little more of a deep dive, give it a try. But without further ado, here is the list of sleep improvement tricks. Use a weighted blanket. Keep dim lights at night and wear blue blocking glasses if you're going to watch screens. Practice sleep meditations or breath work before bed. Wear earplugs or an eye mask. Keep your room as cold as you can tolerate. No caffeine afternoon. Don't drink alcohol. Get physical exercise in the daytime so your body is tired when you actually want to go to bed. Eat carbs with your dinner. Have sex with your girl, or I guess yourself, before bed. And on the occasional nights where it's really difficult to get to sleep, look for sleep supplements that have GABA and 5-HTP in them. Those I find pair very well together. And if you're starting from zero, literally just adding a couple of these into your bedtime routine will make a very noticeable difference. But that is all I got for you in this video, so cheers to your natural testosterone, and I'll see you soon. Peace!